Good afternoon, Good Shepherd. It's the 11th of September, 2024. A few things. Services this coming Sunday at 7:45 in the chapel and Zoom. There will be a link in the e-news and in the upcoming reminders where you can download the bulletin as well as the announcements. So you'll have those for the Zoom service. They will also serve for those of you who would like to join us on the live stream service at 10:30. We will, of course, be in the sanctuary and live streaming at 10:30, but the bulletin will work for both of those with the announcements and the readings. All right. This coming Sunday, after the 10:30 service, is our annual parish picnic. Bouncy house, feints, painting, cornhole, all of that. If you haven't already signed up, it's not too late. There's a link in the e-news tomorrow that you can click and let us know whether there's one of you, two of you, or a bunch of you coming, so that the men's group who will be doing the cooking will have enough food to go around. So it'll be a fun time. Look forward to seeing you there this coming Sunday after the 10:30 service. Next Sunday, that would be the 22nd, we will have a regular Sunday schedule. But at the Faith Forum, in between the two services, there will be presentation and conversation with the folks who are doing our safety emergency preparedness. There are some updates and things that they would love to talk about. So that will be happening between the two services on September 22nd. On September 29th, in addition to it being Family Sunday, which is always a lot of fun, while there won't be a formal faith forum, after the service on the 29th, there will be an opportunity brought to you by our Faith in Action team to learn how to do CPR and use our AED equipment. And it's limited, the actual participants who get to do the hands-on stuff will be limited to 12 to 15 folks, and there will be a sign-up link in the e-news and coming up. So if that's something, there's no charge. If that's something that you're interested in, knowing how to use the AED and how to perform CPR, you can sign up. For those who are who miss the 12 to 15 person cutoff, you can be an observer and see how all of this works, but I think the amount of equipment that they will have is the limiting factor for that afternoon. So that's coming up after the service on the 29th of September. And then the following Sunday is Blessing of the Animals. So there's a lot coming up in the next few days. One of the things I want to draw your attention to, and this is also found in the e-news, is that coming up the second weekend of October, so that's the 11th through the 13th, is the annual Creation Care Task Force's retreat at Cathedral Ridge. I invite you to take a look at the announcement in the e-news and to consider attending this. It's very inexpensive. It's only $50 per person. We may have some scholarship funds available if that is hard for you. But it starts on Friday night, or Friday afternoon around 4 or so, and concludes on Sunday morning. It's a wonderful time to meet other people who are concerned about care of creation, to learn some new things, some tips, techniques, and all of those kinds of things. I will be there. I'm one of the team leaders, so I'll be talking about my sabbatical, I'm sure, but also working on worship and things like that. So if you have any questions, please let me know. But the link to register will be found in the e-news going out tomorrow. And as you probably know, we're still looking for folks to staff and stock the annual holiday bazaar, which will be happening at the end of November, but we need folks to sign up to cook, carve, bake, weave, whatever your craft is, so that we can provide those at that bazaar for folks to come and peruse and get for their holiday giving. So there's more information on that as well in the e-news and floating around the church. I'm sure you've probably seen it. So there is, as I said, a lot of stuff that's going on. I want to end by marking the fact that today is a solemn day in our nation's history, the anniversary of 9/11, 23 years ago. Many of us remember that day pretty well and continue to be affected by it in one way or another. And while I posted one prayer on our Facebook page, I found another one written by a rabbi, and I would like to close with this prayer. Eternal God, source and creator of life, from the depths we have called to you, and we call to you again for courage, strength, and wisdom on this anniversary of our nation's tragedy. Grant us courage to confront our enemies. Comfort those who stand alone, without spouse, parent, brother, sister, or friend. Open our hearts to them and to the children orphaned that day. Enable us to love more deeply all children who suffer. Accept with mercy our prayers of healing on behalf of the families of the victims and on behalf of the responders who became ill at Ground Zero. Despite the horror and tragedy of 9/11, our country remains a shelter of peace, a symbol of freedom, a beacon light of compassion and justice to the downtrodden and oppressed of the world. Strengthen the hands of our people to defend this country and our common values of freedom and justice. Inspire our leaders and diplomats to act wisely and to pursue peace everywhere in the world. May we teach our children to learn and to think, to consider and to reason, to be courageous in thought and in deed, and nurture hearts of wisdom that they may do battle against fear, hatred, and bigotry, using weapons of the Spirit and loving hearts. We offer our prayers on behalf of our country and government, our president and judiciary, our officials and institutions, our soldiers and citizens, upon all who faithfully toil for the good of our country, to preserve democracy in our land, to advocate for civility between adversaries, and to treat every human being as infinitely worthy and dignified by virtue of being created in the divine image. Amen. We'll see you soon, my friends.